Here's everything you might have missed in the Matrix Resurrections trailer. The trailer for The Matrix Resurrections is finally here, and I think I can speak for everyone when I say, Mr. Anderson, we missed you. Now, despite seemingly dying in The Matrix Revolutions, both Keanu Reeves and Carrie Moss return as Neo and Trinity respectively in this highly anticipated sequel to one of the greatest sci-fi action sagas of all time. Not returning, though, is Lawrence Fishburne, and you better believe the internet has some strong opinions about that. Warner Brothers released the full trailer for The Matrix Resurrections on Thursday, which at times feels a little bit like The Matrix Awakens a la Episode 7. But could this be a red herring in how it uses our nostalgia for the original movie against us? Directed by Lana Wachowski, The Matrix Resurrections looks to be full of surreal mysteries, physics-defying action, and Keanu looking like straight-up Tron Wick.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back!
With numerous homages to the original trilogy, subtle Easter eggs, and hidden details galore, there is plenty to dissect in this trailer before the film hits theaters on December 22nd. Now we're gonna break everything down for you in just a moment, so if you want to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes and get trailer pilled, follow us or risk feeling like Switch in the comment section.
Not like this.
Okay, let's get into it, shall we? So the trailer begins with the signature computery sounds as we see what appears to be a new version of the megacity, the massive simulated metropolitan area where many of the events of the original Matrix movies take place. Now, this city is clearly San Francisco in the shot, but it doesn't look like it's rendered properly, and that adds a surreal quality to this scene. Inside the brownstone, we see Neo sitting across from a therapist played by Neil Patrick Harris. Now, Neo's going by his old blue pill name, Thomas Anderson, and he's clearly in distress. The color blue is particularly prominent in the scene as well. From NPH's outfit, to his glasses, to the blue butterfly in the background, it all reinforces the idea that Neo is currently trapped in the Matrix, unaware of the artifice surrounding him, and he's still plugged into one of the machine's power pods. In the office, we see a black cat walking across the table. The most significant time we saw a black cat in the Matrix previously was in the original film as an instance of deja vu, a glitch in the Matrix that happened right before the agents ambushed Neo, Morpheus, and the rest of the gang. Now, this could be the filmmaker's way of letting us know right off the bat that there is a fundamental glitch in the Matrix and the machines have changed something crucial. On the desk, we see a glass globe containing what looks like one of the Sentinel machines in the real world. Then we see a blue butterfly in the background that's often associated with rebirth, or in this case, Neo's titular resurrection after seemingly dying during his fight with Agent Smith in the Matrix Revolutions. Neo tells NPH that he's had dreams that weren't just dreams, echoing Morpheus's iconic line from the original Matrix.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream?
Now, this assertion is coupled with imagery of Neo walking down a street that morphed into computer code. Then we get some rapid-fire shots that include a close-up of a man whose eyes turn pitch black with green Matrix code, Neo stopping a bullet firing in midair, Sentinels and Docbots in the real world operating on Neo's naked body that features his burnt-out eyes from the end of the Matrix Revolutions, and then we see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II's mysterious Morpheus lookalike character, who's dual-wielding guns and shooting at a SWAT team in an office while sprinklers go off. But the real question is this actually Morpheus or is it a red herring?
Whoa.
Did they download a new skin and a voice pack for Morpheus like a video game? Or is the scene where Morpheus dies in the actual Matrix Online video game actually canon?
I thought it wasn't real.
Your mind makes it real.
We then see presumably Neo and Trinity touching hands, followed by a very much not dead Trinity in her black leather getup in a room with a rotary telephone, which mirrors the opening scene of the original film. We then cut to gigantic red machinery with these two H.R. Giger-ass goo pods, followed by Neo waking up in one of them. And based on the shot of Trinity later in the trailer in one of these goo pods, it seems like this new version of the Matrix might have a special interest in harvesting the bioelectric energy from these two in this particular rig. Then, after a snap, we're back with the blue pill therapist, prompting Neo to ask a very important question.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
These sweet strains of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit play throughout the trailer. Between the lyrics and the imagery in the trailer, the Alice in Wonderland and White Rabbit thread is quite prominent, and it's really hammered home by a copy of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland literally in this trailer. And then it also harkens back to Neo's cryptic instructions in the original movie to follow the White Rabbit. You may remember Du Jour, the girl with a white rabbit tattoo that visits Neo's apartment to buy illegal software in the original film. Well, there's another white rabbit tattoo in this movie, and once more, Neo must follow. We get even more establishing shots of the megacity, followed by Neo in the bathtub with a rubber ducky on his head, which may be a reference to rubber duck debugging, a practice used by some engineers in which they will literally dictate their code line by line to a rubber duck to make sure that it makes sense, and that could be what Neo's doing here. Then we have a curious encounter between Neo and Trinity in a coffee shop where they question if they've met before. Clearly, they're blue-pilled both literally and figuratively, as these two heroes of the Resistance died, were resurrected, and are now trapped inside the Matrix's machinations. After that, we see Neo taking literal blue pills in a mirror with multiple reflections, maybe representing a fractured sense of self. After that, we see Neo tripping balls and then staring into the mirror, followed by staring at birds in the sky. Neo clearly senses that something is amiss. And side note, if you look in the corner, there's a sign for Corky's Massage Parlor, which may be a subtle reference to Bound, the Wachowskis' 1996 directorial debut that starred Gina Gershon as an ex-con named Corky. Next, in the elevator, we continue this thread of Neo being the only one to sense that something's not quite right. He's the only person not glued to a phone or another device, the modern ways that machines subjugate us with the illusion of free will and an endless IV drip of dopamine. Anyway, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on all these social media platforms to consume more content. Things then take a bit of a turn as we see Neo in that same white bathroom dropping tons of blue pills into the sink, and the Go Ask Alice lyrics in White Rabbit line up perfectly with Priyanka Chopra Jonas playing a character that looks like an older version of Santi from the Matrix Revolutions, wearing Oracle-inspired glasses, and reading that aforementioned copy of Alice in Wonderland. After that, we see Neo standing in front of a mirror rippling like water with old footage of him projected on the wall. He sees what looks like a young Argus Filch in the mirror, which quickly morphs to reveal Neo's real face. So based on this and another shot of Trinity later in the trailer, it feels like they've been projected into strange new avatars that don't look like themselves. Next up, we see Neo standing opposite Yaya, dressed like Morpheus, complete with the glasses, who offers him a red pill, which he gladly takes. Once again, Neo must follow the White Rabbit tattooed this time on Jessica Henwick's blue-haired character. "If you want the truth, Neo, you're gonna have to follow me," she says. Then she opens a glowing white door like we saw in The Matrix Reloaded, and this is a portal leading to a hotel room with another woman clad in black. In voiceover, we hear Yaya tell Neo, "The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you'll never give up." And the only thing that matters to Neo is Trinity. They stand together in a garage with green Matrix code running down her face. So is she real? Does she have a computer virus? Clearly rumors of her death in the Matrix Revolutions were greatly exaggerated. Next up, we see an homage to the iconic Neo vs. Morpheus dojo fight as Neo faces Yaya. Neo catches a punch and says, "You don't know me," before blasting him back so hard, the dojo explodes and reality crumbles. Because if he really knew Neo, he would know.
I know Kung Fu.
Back in the real world, we see Sentinels and other nightmarish machines flying through a dystopian version of the city. Massive towers of pods harvest bioelectric energy from everyone who's still jacked into the Matrix. And after that, we see a Nebuchadnezzar-style ship flying through the massive ruins of a city. Moving on, we catch up with Neo and Trinity on a rooftop, followed by Jessica Henwick running from armed guards. She flips off the building, then lands with palpable force. We then see a cop morph into a beefy new agent character, and while we may not be getting Hugo Weaving returning as Agent Smith, we are reportedly getting Daniel Bernhardt reprising his role as Agent Johnson from The Matrix Reloaded.
Upgrades.
After that, we see Neo standing in the rain, and someone's pointing a gun at him point blank, so maybe that could be Jonathan Groff's mystery character or an agent, but only time will tell. Next, we see a rocket-propelled grenade launching past an old image of Neo as SWAT members sweep what's likely Yaya and company's hideout. Now, someone tries to escape through a door portal onto a train, which promptly explodes. And on the train, we see Yaya carrying Neo as he follows Jessica Henwick's character. After that, in the next scene, Neo fights a person with short hair and a vest, and this is followed by more footage of Yaya dual-wielding guns as sprinklers rain down on him, echoing the rescue of Morpheus in the first movie, another sprinkler-heavy scene. Interestingly enough, the text behind Yaya and Neo reads Deus Machina, which could be a reference to the baby-faced Deus Ex Machina central computer interface of Machine City that we saw in The Matrix Revolutions. Moving on, we see Neo leap from an explosion as Trinity awakens in a futuristic goo pod. Clearly, she is still alive and not just an elaborate program construct. In the next scene, we see her fighting a SWAT team, and much like Neo in the mirror earlier, she gives off this primal scream and then separates into multiple versions of herself, and also what appears to be the avatar that she looks like in the Matrix. In what may be a flashback, we see Yaya touching a rippling mirror portal, then freaking out. Then we get more shots of Jessica Henwick being a badass as she flips over a cop car and shoots people. Trinity's motorcycle slides into frame as a door bursts open and agents run through after Yaya and Jessica, who's wall running and shooting at the agents while they do those signature high-speed Matrix dodges. You'll speed it up in post, right? As Yaya and Jessica leap towards the ground, the scene morphs to reveal Neo blasting away dozens of SWAT team members like the fight against the Agent Smith clones in The Matrix Reloaded. Neo also then stops a metric ton of bullets in midair to protect himself and Trinity. Then they escape on a motorcycle, perhaps the same one from the garage scene, and they proceed to knock people over as a helicopter blasts rockets at them. And if you look closely, everybody chasing them has eerie green code dyes to them as well. Back on the rooftop, Neo redirects a rocket to attack an enemy chopper, which recalls the iconic rooftop fight in the first Matrix movie. And last but not least, we see Jonathan Groff in a very nice suit sitting down with Neo, and he lays it all out for both us and Neo himself, calling out all the references in this trailer.
Back to the Matrix.
So clearly he's either going to be one of the big bads or working for the big bad, maybe like a new architect or something. Because why else would he get such important exposition? Also, that M logo inside of that D shape makes me think he might be the new Merovingian or working for him. That's right, folks, DM officially stands for The Merovingian. Hey, a Matrix in here. You heard it here first.
Not like this.
Anyway, folks, that is everything we spotted in the Matrix Resurrections trailer, and while I was admittedly skeptical when this was first announced, it does look a lot better than I could have hoped for. We have so many theories and questions about what's really going on here, which we're going to be rolling out on Nerdist.com in the days ahead. As for the movie itself, fingers crossed it'll live up to the hype, so I don't have to be disappointment pilled once more. Because for every highway chase scene in the sequels, there's also a Zion rave.
No!
In the meantime, folks, tell us, what did you think of this trailer? Did you spot anything that we missed? And what would your cool Matrix codename be? I'm Dongle. Anyway, let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.